most of the songwriting you actually get from your father.
No, the lyrics, like most of the lyrics.
Yeah, the lyrics.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So, how does this work? For instance, the first song, the one you mentioned, how did it work? Did you write the music and then go to your father?
Yeah, it is always like I write the music first. I record the demo at home, and then I send the song to my father, and maybe I always like sing some nonsense lyric over it first, just to see how like the lyric flow should be, you know, and the melody, yeah. And then we maybe talk about it a little bit, and then he just always does a really good job, and if he doesn't, then we talk about it and he does it again.
Well, what made you go to him in the first place for lyrics?
Just because he has been like writing poems since he was a little kid, and has been writing lyrics also for other musicians in Iceland, and has released poetry books and has been teaching Icelandic since he was just for 50 years, and I just really trust him with this, and also it's kind of a cool idea to have a family involved in a way.
And you mentioned that sometimes it's not so good. Does it happen when you don't like the lyrics and tell them? Well,
no, it maybe has happened like once.
Okay.
So.
Do you remember on what song it was?
I think we had to like talk about the song Higher, I think. Yeah.
And then can you tell me what the discussion was about, or is it too?
I just wanted it to be like more. It was the first lyric was more like straightforward, like just kind of one meaning, and I just like the idea was kind of just to have it more like atmosphere, and like people could more just make up their own minds about the meaning of the lyric, you know, like for most of the lyrics on the album are like that, you know, there is no one meaning behind every song. It's just like people can pretty much like imagine what it's about.
And is this important for you because you don't write the lyrics? Is it important so you yourself can connect to the song as well in your own way?
Yeah, probably. I have to like it to connect to it, I think. Yeah.
Well, is it difficult to connect to a song that you haven't written yourself, or do you discuss the
No, it's pretty like a separate thing. He just does this, and then I interpret just in my own way when I sing it, and he always likes it, and it works out really well.
Well, now you've decided to also turn your album into an English one, In the Silence.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about the first time you met John Grant?
Yeah, the first time I heard about him was through a friend of mine back in Iceland, and we were thinking about how we should go about translating the album, or maybe just do a whole nother lyrics, or not connected to the Icelandic ones. And he pointed out that John Grant was staying in Iceland, and he is an American musician, which is a really good musician and a lyricist. And at that time, a year ago, I think, I hadn't even heard about him. So I got home and looked him up and listened to his albums, and he's a wonderful musician, and seemed like a really nice guy. And so we just called him and to see if he was up for helping us, and if he had any time, and we just sat down with a cup of coffee just downtown Reykjavik, and we're talking about how we should do it. Me and my producer and John Grant.
And then he immediately said, "Yes, I'll do it."
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Just like a few days after the meeting, we just really got into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously the album is already written, but then you have to change it into English. Were you part of the translations as well?
Yeah, a little bit. Like he had been staying in Iceland for a year, and he's like this really surprising like language guy. He knows like fluently like Spanish and Russian and Dutch, and he can speak Icelandic also. So he understood the lyrics also, and it was really like easy to connect to him. And yeah, and he usually had some ideas just at home, and then we worked it out together in the studio when we were just recording.
And then when you did do the translation, was it difficult to keep the lyrics true to the original? Because translation sometimes doesn't work out.
Yeah, of course, but it's not like a it's kind of like a straight translation, but you had to change some words here and there and some sentences just to make the flow right and get the meaning out there. But the meaning is exactly the same, and I think he and we did a good job.
And has your father listened to the English?
Yeah, he has, but he is like a 73-year-old guy and really doesn't know English that well, but he just likes it. Yeah, it's still his lyrics, you know. So yeah.
And in terms of music, did you change some things for the?
No, there was like no changes. It was just like the translation and just to get the meaning out there, and we just sung it over again.
And what was the idea behind doing this English record?
It's kind of funny because like from the beginning when we were doing the Icelandic record, the idea was always to have do the Icelandic version and then do the English version afterwards. So that was kind of just the idea from the beginning, and then the Icelandic record was a really huge success, and we got like some interests from labels around the world, and we just decided to go for it, and yeah, we just did it.
And have you heard some reactions already from English-speaking fans who've heard your music?
Yeah, we are getting some radio plays like all around, like in Britain and Denmark a lot, and French and German and Germany, and so people are just overall like, yeah, it's a good outlook. Yeah, I think so.
And they can connect to it.
Yeah, but of course, like the people that listen to the Icelandic record, they think it's really weird, strange, you know. Of course, but for the people that are hearing this for the first time and this is still fresh, you know, it's working out really well.
Have you had some people, some Icelandic people say, why are you doing this?
Of course.
Ruining the song? Or?
Always.
And how do you deal with it?
Just by saying that, you know, the Icelandic versions and the record and the songs, they will always be there, and all the people that want to listen to that instead, they can always do that, and they really don't have to think about this English version. That's just the thing that we want to do and we are doing, and we are focusing on that right now. So, and we always, like when we are back home doing some gigs, and we sing in Icelandic, and we're gonna keep that up, so I don't see any problem.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.